Okay, I'm here in the East Street Historic District of Golden proper, and I'm with Don Cameron at his house on East Street. So Don, tell us about your house and its sustainable and solar features.
Well, one of the biggest features of our house is simply the edible landscape. As you pan around, you'll see that adjacent to our property, we bought the small cottage next door and turned the front yard into a community garden. There are 9 plots. Of those 6 are neighbors' plots and 3 of them are ours. And then looking up our driveway, you can see that we have this year all our nightshade plants out here, and apple trees and peach trees. And up against the house, one of the interesting sustainable features is that we have no air conditioning, and we really had no problems with the hottest summer on record. We have trumpeter vine on the west side. You can't see it, but on the north side there's some Virginia creeper, and on the south side we have edible grapes, and you can see the solar panels on top of the roof.
Right. Okay. So let's go and look at your backyard, because I know you have more back there to show us.
Sure.
As we walk through the garage, I noticed that this is a cargo bike. Tell me about the cargo bike and what you use it for.
Well, I bought an aftermarket part called an Extra Cycle, and I have been commuting on this for about 5 years. I ride about 18 miles round trip each day, even through the winter. I can carry my clothes, my lunch. I'm a teacher. I carry my grading. Sometimes I carry equipment, and that way I have a safe commute, and it works out to keep my gas mileage way down.
Okay, so we're in the backyard now. Tell me about the backyard and what you've done here.
Well, when we moved in, it was pretty much grass with a little bit of a garden, and now it's a garden with a little bit of grass. We put in the pear tree, the cherry tree in the back.
That's the cherry over there in the corner?
It is. We have grapes up along the fence.
Oh, yeah.
And of course you can see the raspberries to your right here.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
right.
little 10 by 10 plot. I cry for everybody who pays for raspberries. We get several gallons a year.
Mm-hmm. I see you have a composter back there next to your, I guess that's a garden shed.
Right. We have several composters, and we compost all our garden scraps. I also have a grinder, and I grind up much of the detritus from the yard.
I see you're capturing rainwater too.
We are. We've been doing that since Golden said that they were going to turn a blind eye to the capture of rainwater. We've been continuing to capture it.
Yeah. Okay, now I notice your roof is different from most roofs. Tell us about that.
Well, about 10 years ago, well, actually when we bought the house, it needed a new roof, and we decided to have an overlay of a steel roof. Overlay?
You mean there's asphalt shingles under it?
There is, and that was designed to keep the attic cooler by having a thicker layer. We've since put in R60 in the attic and a lot of soffit vents to keep the attic vented well.
And then whirlybirds up top.
Right. So what the steel roof does for us is it radiates heat very quickly. So in the summer, when it's a clear night, the asphalt doesn't hold the heat. It's the steel radiates it away. There's also an air gap under there. So it's actually quite a cool roof, despite the fact that you might think a metal roof is hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the winter, it keeps cool and vents well. And the main thing is for hail damage. We survived a huge hailstorm with that steel roof. So it's very sustainable.
Yeah, you told me you were the only house in the neighborhood not to get a new roof because of your steel roof.
Right, we had 1-inch hail, and it sure got dinged up, but it's just cosmetic. But the structural integrity was absolutely fine. So it's
must have made a racket when it was happening.
Luckily, I was not here. My wife called me in a little bit of a panic, and I got home to find several windows broken from the hail, but the roof held up.
Anything else you want to tell us about the house?
Well, we're not carbon neutral, but we are electricity negative. I do get checks from Excel every year, so my wife and I, through hanging our laundry and using a little hot water, and just the two of us, we are able to maintain negative electrical use, even with just 3.6 kilowatts rated on the roof.
I'm looking for laundry place, but you must be
We
hanging it
hang
inside.
it indoors. It's so dry in Colorado that
Indoors is fine.
indoors is fine. The
Yeah.
humidity is low, and we've never had a problem with mold or mildew. It absolutely is fine.
Okay, well, thanks for the tour.
Thank you.